Alright, then let's try this out. Okay, everything's on. We are going to be looking at some brain teasers. Why? Because I felt like it. Yeah, what's a brain teaser? Basically a question that is asked in a way that is hard for the person trying to answer the question to answer. Well, in this case, I looked at the first one. This is just the first article that I found. Brain teaser number 1. A man pushes his car to a hotel and tells the owner he's bankrupt. Why? I wouldn't have guessed the answer. Answer, he's playing Monopoly. And we're going to go a bit slower so that I don't see the answer. Okay. Number 2. You are in a room that has 3 switches and a closed door. The switches control 3 light bulbs on the other side of the door. Once you open the door, you may never touch the switches again. How can you definitely tell which switch is connected to each of the light bulbs? So we have 3 switches, and if we press none of the switches, all of them are off. If we press, let's say we press the first switch and the third switch, we would see that the light bulb, one light bulb is off. Okay, 3 switches and a closed room. Switches control 3 light bulbs on the other side of the door. Once you open the door, you may never touch the switches again. But why do we need to... I do not understand why we would be prohibited from you touching the switches while we are inside the door. So, room, 3 switches, closed door. Okay, I get it. On the other side of the door. So we cannot... Alright. And we may never touch the switches again as soon as we open the door, thus as soon as we see the switches on and how they are able and how they are switched on and off. Okay. If we only have 2 of the 3 light bulbs on, or the switches on, 2 will be on, which means we will know one of them definitely, which the switch we did not touch, we will definitely know because that light bulb will be off. But the other 2, we would still not know which one that would be. So I can only see this being solved by doing this method 3 times, but we can only do it once. Anything else that we would be able to use? Can we press switches multiple times and we will see anything? I mean, we could have a timer on which would then press the switches for us, but I don't think that's it. This is a brain teaser, so it might not be the solution that I'm thinking about, which is combinatorial thinking. Alright, let's see what the answer could be. Turn on the first 2 switches, leave them on for 5 minutes. Once 5 minutes has passed, turn off the second switch, leaving 1 switch on. Now go through the door. The light that is still on is connected to the first switch. Whichever of the 2 is warm to the touch is connected to the second switch. Okay, the bulb that is cold is connected to the switch that was never turned on. Okay, that's definitely a solution that I did not expect. As you know, light bulbs, you might not know this, but light bulbs are very inefficient in terms of light warmth efficiency. They emit a lot of warmth, so a light bulb that has been on for a long time will have a lot of warmth, and thus, if we leave them on for this long, the idea is 3 switches. We leave 1 off and the other 2 are on. We will be able to then, after the turn on 2 switches, leave them on for 5 minutes. Once we turn off the second switch, leaving 1 on. We go through the door. We will know that 2 light bulbs are off. We will know that the one that is still on, the light bulb that's still shining, we will know which switch that bulb belongs to. Okay? And then we compare the 2 light bulbs that are off. We compare them by touching them, and the one that feels warm to the touch, meaning the one that has been on, is the one that we have had the switch that we first turned on and then off. So we will be able to differentiate all 3 of them. Okay, I did not expect that. That's an interesting brain teaser, I like that. Okay, well, I didn't see the solution just yet, but you might have. Brain Teaser 3. I left my campsite and hiked south for 3 miles. Then I turned east and hiked for 3 miles. So, okay, I then turned north and hiked for 3 miles, at which time I came upon a bear inside my tent eating my food. What color was the bear? Brown. Well, in this case, the picture is black, but okay. Any other clues that I would need to think about? No, there's no geographic evidence that says that we have a specific type of bear. Technically, it could be a brown bear, it could be a polar bear, but if we look at the picture, it's a black bear, I guess. It's black, but I don't think that's the solution. This seems a bit too weird. Is this? I'm going to say it was just simply brown. White? Okay, white. The only place you can hike 3 miles south, then east for 3 miles, then north for 3 miles, ended up back at the starting point is the North Pole. Well, now I need to think a bit. So, we go 3 miles once again. South, 3 miles. Turned east. So we go down. Then we go east, north, west, east would be right. Then turned north. So we would still have the same height, I think, longitudinal coordinate. No, we would have the one coordinate, the horizontal coordinate would be the same, but the vertical one. No, it's the opposite. The horizontal one would have changed, but the vertical coordinate would not have changed. And this is why we would be at the North Pole. It's because if we switched these directions around, we go north 3 miles, then turn east, and then back south, we would be at the South Pole. But this is North Pole. Okay, I get it. Yeah, I get it. Interesting. Another smart solution. Next one. You could have seen the solution, but I did not yet. A man is looking at a photograph of someone. His friend asks who it is. The man replies, "Brothers and sisters, I have none. But that man's father is my father's son." Who was in the photograph? It's okay. That man's father is my father's son. Grandfather? Okay, let's think about this. That man's father is my father's son, meaning he and that man share a father, so it would be himself, right? Let's think about this once more just to be safe. He is an only child, though it could be okay. First of all, he's an only child, brothers and sisters he has none. But that man's father is my father's son would mean that man's father, my father's son, means my father's son would mean brother, sister, sibling, or myself. Yeah, I would say it's himself, or we have a problem of father meaning something like in Christianity they would call the priest the father. So I do not think that they would go there, but for now I would say it's the guy himself. His son. Once again, I get it. Yeah. That man's father is my father's son, so person in the photograph has a father. That father is either the brother or sister of the person talking right now. And that means it's the son of the person talking. I get it. Today it's not really, it doesn't seem that I'm getting a lot of these. Alright. 5. Drop, polish, herb. Okay, that's the entire question. What is special about these words? Drop, polish, herb. Each letter that each word starts with a word with the previous. No, it's not. Drop, polish, herb. If you herb ends with herb and drop end with the same letter. Polish ends with the letter H and herb starts with the letter H. Drop. I know that drop and polish have the letter O in common. Polish and herb have the letter H in common. Only the letter H. Drop and herb have the letter B in common, so each of them has only one letter in common. But is that really it? Let's think about this. Is there any other thing that they have in common? What vowels do they use? O, O, I, and E. That's not really anything special. In terms of context, job is an occupation, polish is also an occupation, while herb is something that an occupation could deal with, but they are not really conceptually in common. In terms of letter size, polish is 6, job is 3, and herb is 4. In terms of anything else, for example, if you wanted to lay them with sticks, how many sticks would you need to lay all these out? I'd say for J you would need 2, O you would need 4, which means 6, and for B you would need 7, which would mean 13. Polish has a lot more, but let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I would say. Let's think about this in a 7-segmented display. Let's go down here. Let's start here. H, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I do not think they have anything in common in terms of how many letters they have. But they do have each only one letter of the other word in common. Maybe that's it. They are pronounced differently when the first letter is capitalized. For a more hands-on drop, J, polish, P, herb. They are pronounced differently than the first. Are they? I guess Polish. I guess Polish and Polish, but job. Drop to job, the job, herb. If that's the case, then I just actually don't know that. I know of Polish word, but I wouldn't be able to tell about the other two. All right. Let's go to the next one before I hang up on that one. Well, that was close. Didn't see that. Brain Teaser 6. Forests left home running. Which is, Forrest is a name. He ran a ways and then turned left, ran the same distance and turned left again. Ran the same distance and turned left again. When he got home, there were 2 masked men. Who were they? Okay. First of all, he left home running. He ran in a circle, basically. And now there are 2 masked men. Which type of men are masked? I guess there's burglars. There is wrestlers, I guess. There is... who else? I wouldn't say police inspectors would be wearing masks, which was the first thought I had. If somebody leaves home running, it might be a child and you would be at the CPS, I think. But that's not the case here. Obviously, this might be deductible from If he left home running, the home might be jail. No, no. Why would there be masked man in jail? Any other instance that you would wear a mask? No, no idea. Let's see what the answer could be. The catcher and the umpire. I have no idea what that word means, so let me look it up. I think this would be a term used in baseball or any other sports. And in that case, this would be an analogy to baseball, which would mean he left home base, he ran to first base, second base, third base, and made it back to the home base, which would mean he would have the catcher, I get it, the ball catcher, the one that would be at home base, as well as the umpire who apparently is the judge or the guy that says whether a foul is a ball is foul, strike, or anything else, which means I get it, but I would have never guessed that one. Okay. And Forrest, maybe that's a famous baseball player, and that's the tip. But yeah, I would not have guessed that one. Alright. Let's do one more and that's it. No, let's go to 8. 8. A man stands on one side of a river, his dog on the other. The man calls his dog, who immediately crosses the river without getting wet and without using a bridge or a boat. How did the dog do it? I mean, the first answer could be that the river had a bridge. I mean, nobody says that the river is entirely unbridged, that there is no passageway to the other side. The next one could be that the river is very small and the dog just jumped over it. Then there could be, what else? Without getting wet and without using a bridge or a boat. I guess if the river is very small, it would still be able to jump over it. Anything else? If without using, he immediately crosses it. The first thought that then came into my mind was another person, a third person, being carrying the dog over the river. But first of all, the man has to have crossed the river on his own, so in other words, the river has to be small enough for the man to cross, and that way it has to be small enough for the dog to cross. So I would say it's just a small river, maybe a trench. I think that's what it's called. Okay, if a river was frozen. I get that analogy as well, but personally I like my solution more, to be honest. I mean, 8 would have also worked. But I get it that you could get wet if the river was not actually frozen, so I do get why this was a hint about the river being frozen. Alright. Last one. 1995, 10 years old, 1990, 15 years old. Well, close. In 1990, a person is 15 years old. In 1995, that same person is 10 years old. How can this be? 10 years of difference. Maybe we're talking about leap years. 15. Leap years would almost make sense. No, they would not make sense. If 1990 the person was 10 years old, 15 years old, then 5 years went over, then 20 years. The solution definitely probably has something to do with leap years, I think, but I can't really see which they would have as a solution. For example, maybe I could check which years are leap years. 1 second. Alright, this is a calendar of leap years. Where do we start? 1992 and 1996. So let's just say 1990 he was 15 years old. 1992 he would be 16 years old. 1995 he would still be 6 years old. 5, 6, 7. So 10. Wait, 10, he would be 2 years older, which would not have anything to do with this. On the other hand, this is obviously a 5-year difference, which is what I'm confused about. How that 5-year difference comes to be. Same person, 1995, 1990. Obviously, it's not anything like time travel or anything. We could have different time. How is it? What do we call it? I looked the word up. Time reckonings. You could have different time reckonings, but that's not really a solid solution, is it? 1995, 1990. Well, obviously the 5 years. Basically, he travels 5 years into the future and becomes 5 years younger. No, I have no idea what that could be. Okay. It was actually that something, yeah, okay. If we take that into account, I get it. So basically BC, it's basically in reverse, and 1995, 1990 BC, 1510, I get it, but yeah, I would not have thought that's the solution just because that's not really close to everyday. Come on, we need to do one more. We need to try to end it on something that I can actually answer. A sundial has the fewest moving parts of any timepiece, which has the most. A clock watch has a lot of moving parts, which is clocks and anything else. The planetary system is a timepiece which has basically 10 moving parts, with the sun also moving and the galaxy moving. So basically the entire universe is a clock which moves and thus creates time. The Earth itself dictates, if you don't know, the 24 hours of the day are dictated by the rotation of the Earth, while the year is dictated by the rotation time of Earth around the sun. And time on different planets based on rotation of set rotation of the planet itself and around the sun dictates how long days, hours, and years are on that planet. I think hours, and at least hours, I think, are also created through the moon. Well, no, months are maybe created through the moon cycle, but I'm not sure about that one. I'd say the planetary system has the most moving pieces, while on the other hand, if we go for something conventional, a clock watch, like not a clock watch, a conventional watch like the old watches that's based on cogs and cylinders would have a lot of moving pieces, but I don't think that's the answer. So let's just say planetary system. Technically, the planetary system might have more than thousands of grains of sand through the... Oh, okay, but I get it. Yeah, an hourglass. It's a really smart answer, actually, because an hourglass, you can just... the finer you make this sand in an hourglass, you can basically have almost infinite amounts of sand or matter, which trickles through the hourglass's opening, and thus you can regulate how fine the hourglass actually is, which means this definitely is the ideal answer. It can have an innumerable amount of pieces of moving parts. All right, I get it. And I need to accept that. Though potentially now the universe is correct hourglass, especially for what we use for time measuring pieces. Timepieces, in my opinion, a bit inaccurate, but time measuring piece, I get it. I get it. Last one. 8,549,176,320. I think it's the amount of people in living on Earth. Is that not correct? Maybe. 8,549,176,320. Let's go first of all with sums of each of these compartments of 3. Well, let's go start off with the overall sum. If we sum up all the digits, 8, 5, 13, 4, 17, 26, 27, 34, 40, 45. This would then go to 9 and then to, yeah. So it is divisible by 3, but that doesn't make it unique. Anything else that makes it unique? If we look at its single compartments and the sum of those, we start off with V8, then V5, 4, 9, which if we add up these to a sum, it would be 18. Then the 17, 6, 176. We would add that up to 14. Yeah. 18, 14, and 5. I don't see any resemblance on that one. Well, 18, 14, no, I don't see it. It would just be the number of humans probably on the planet. Oh no, it has each number 0 through 9 listed in alphabetical order. 8E, 5F, 4F, yeah, 9N, 1, 7, 6, 3, 2, 0. Okay, I get it, yeah. It seems I'm not smart enough for these kind of riddles. Yeah, I think that's it. We are going to stop here, but yeah, pretty cute, I guess. With that, have a nice day and goodbye.